Hi, Veronica.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm okay. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you for asking. So, we have about 30 minutes,
Mhm.
and this is a safe place,
Yeah.
and it will be your time.
Okay.
How do you feel if I take some notes throughout our
Oh
session?
yeah, of course. I don't mind.
Oh, thank you. So, what would you like to specifically work on today?
Um, so I have two things written down. So I would like to work a little bit on um, how I design my website and particularly the bit about me and my story. And I do recognize, so I know that it's important to present your story to your target audience because this is kind of the thing that attracts the people,
Yeah.
the niche, I guess,
Yes.
I guess it's the target audience. But it's like it's when you say target audience, it's like you're targeting them, but it's really like you just want to tell your story and attract people who resonate with your story.
Yes.
And therefore you kind of like a good I don't know, hopefully credible coach to help them with
Absolutely.
their problems, right? So um I think it's quite deep
Mm.
emotionally because it's like my life story. Like
Yeah.
it's just sounds so big. And what I would really like to do, I think I've already been thinking a lot about it, and I have like even I identified some limiting beliefs that might be behind it, why I'm
Yeah.
procrastinating on it. And I think I'm quite aware of that. But today, I just really would like to make it positive, like shift it from this, why am I so negative? Uh, when I started with this website idea, I was so excited. I was
Yeah.
like, beaming and being like, oh my God, I'm creating my own thing. And I paid for like personal domain. So it's like
Yeah.
veronikabuczek.com. And I saw that, I was like, how cool is that? You know?
Yeah.
So I had that. And then I somehow lost it. And then I'm like, oh, because I don't know, my journey and the rejection and the
Mm.
things that I had to go through, and there was like trauma of like
Yeah.
like hard times that I went through
Yeah.
that I've learned so much from. So let's shift it to something
Mm.
positive, and I even like radically. I want radical positivity because I know it's there. Like I know it's there,
Yeah.
and I know I can get there. So if we can just like bridge it, okay? I want a bridge. This is my amazing, exciting, positive thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, my trauma, and that's not like,
Yes.
let's bridge it in this
So
session.
it's an interesting, almost like imagery
Yeah,
around this bridge
I'm
from
always about imagery.
one way of feeling and that the other way you would like to feel.
Hmm.
So let's say that this was a good session
Hmm.
and you look back and say, yeah, it was a good use of my time. How would that look like at the end?
I want to be like I think excited doesn't even get that
Hmm.
because as I said, it's quite deep, that
Yeah.
story of me, and actually it's not negative, it's amazing. So
Yeah.
I want it to be like I want to recognize all the good things about it, and I want to be like exhilarated because I know it's that it's not unachievable within 30 minutes. I think it's perfectly achievable within 30 minutes.
So you mentioned about being excited
Mhm.
about your story for the website.
Yeah.
Why is this meaningful to you now?
Especially now, particularly because it's about my business, right?
Okay.
So first of all, I don't have a job, so I have no income, right? So
Yeah.
that's important financially. But I do try to not put too much pressure on myself because that's the negative part. Like if I think about money, then it gets like anxious. So
Yeah,
I try to stay in the positive, and actually financially I am stable now, so I don't have to worry. So I'm trying to let her go, although it is important.
of course.
Um, but obviously I want my business to do well. I'm
Yeah,
very excited, and I feel like I'm following my instinct, some sort of something intuition, something, because as I'm saying, I know that excitement is that, where is it coming from? Like something inside me is just like, oh my God, this would be so amazing.
yeah,
And so I think it's important because I follow my instinct, right? And it's like I'm learning a lot about myself, and it's like about life,
yeah,
not just me and the current situation, but just like, okay, maybe this fails, but it's like something tangible that like I'm learning about how life looks like and how my decisions affect outcomes
yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's why it's important.
So you mentioned about your life story and
Yeah.
having a sense of excitement. And this is important to you because, as you said, you want to move forward with your business, although you have some pressures. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in terms of the focus, you mentioned about excitement. So when you connect to excitement, what do you notice?
Um, Well, first of all, I have loads of energy. My
Yeah,
eyes open wide, and I'm like, it's always my eyes open. I'm getting expressive. I move my arms, and
yeah,
I'm like, and actually, even other things that are exciting for me, I have loads of energy. Like I'm very energetic person in general.
yeah,
It's like my boyfriend sometimes looks at me and like, "What's up with you?" And I'm dancing, but literally dancing around the kitchen, like doing some silly moves and being like,
yeah,
how are you today? Just being
yes,
being silly, actually
yes,
excited, something a little bit like being silly, having loads of energy, this kind of moving my arms and legs a lot.
yes,
Um, this wide open eyes, and but also it has something to do with focus, like this kind of like I'm so excited, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do this now, and
yeah,
I'm sat in front of computer. This is usually where I work, so I'm like, this is so that's how I see excitement. Like I'm
yes,
ready to sit down and do it now because I'm like ready to go, right?
yes.
To
So
move
you
forward. I like when you said move forward.
move forward,
Um,
and we are talking the excitement around your life story,
the excitement about building my website with
your
this goal
website.
of like I'm building my own thing, my own
Yeah,
company. So let's build a website. And then for today, let's focus on that story about me, and
yeah,
let's try and be as positive, even funny about these things, the
yes,
kind of traumas that I like.
yes,
I always perceive myself as this victim. Oh, I'm so poor, poor me. I had to go through this. And I want fun, like even joke, even sarcasm in there. I
yeah,
want radically shifted running.
yeah. So if we look into a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
around excitement, when you think about your life story, where do you think you are now?
Excitement about my life story, Jesus. Um, I think it's low. I think I'm excited and I'm smiling because I'm already thinking about that future
Yeah.
vision.
Yes.
And then I'm like, oh, my life story. It's just,
Yeah. I've noticed that you shifted. Yeah.
I don't know, it's like two,
Okay.
two
Okay.
or three, something like that.
Okay. What do you notice in your body?
I've put my arms down on the chair.
Yeah.
My voice went down
Yeah.
and it got deeper as well. It's like, yeah, two
Yeah.
or three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your tone of voice
And the body, it's
and
just
the
dropped.
body,
Everything dropped
everything
instantly.
dropped.
Hmm.
So you said, yeah, I'm on it too. Um, what do you think is getting in the way?
Um, well, I guess I think I'm dreading it a little bit, as in like I have to go through all these traumas, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
all these rejections. So you see that the kind of negativity. It's like I'm looking at my life journey. And I'm not looking at like these amazing journeys that I've been like traveling. I've traveled to so many places. I've met so many amazing people,
Yeah.
friends that I'm still friends with. There's so many positive things about it. And all I see is drama. So I'm like, oh,
Mm,
can we just stop with this drama? So I think I'm
mm,
dreading it because of the drama side of it.
okay.
And I'm actually thinking now
Yeah.
that if I write the drama, because I'm gonna write my story, right? So I'm gonna mention what happened. And maybe it is emotional, like negative emotional, maybe. But then I'm gonna shift the story, right? So I'm gonna say, this
Mm,
happened and I was hurt and it was tough
yeah,
and so
yeah,
on.
yeah.
And then I did this and then I did that and I learned this. And I end up my story positive, right?
Mm,
So maybe if I realize that if I actually sit down and write it down, I don't have to spend too much time there because I think I already have, you know? I think I
yeah,
already have spent a lot of time in that. So don't spend not much time in drama and then explain what you've learned and realize how much of it is going to help you now to build your business.
right, 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 right,
Okay, I love that.
right. So
Hmm.
what do you think is your mindset when you see that process
I
happen?
feel like I'm shifting it right now. I'm
Yeah,
shifting it just right now, realizing that. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll have to write about these negative things.
yeah.
But there's another thing that just came up. If I
Mm,
write it down, maybe I'll finally let it go. To stop dwelling on this and actually forget, like, and I really
yeah,
want that. As I said to you, I want to be exhilarated and like positive
yeah.
about move forward and positive about the future. So I
Yes,
want to let go on those past things.
yes,
But with it, like the positive attitude of like,
yeah,
yeah, it was tough, but I've learned so much and it's made me this person that I'm here today. And now I can create a life that I want, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So how does it feel now?
Um, I don't know, a little bit like a relief, I guess.
Yeah.
And it feels a little bit more structured. Like I think it was messy
Mm,
before. And now it feels a little bit like, oh, okay, this is this, like a little bit like drawers, you know, it's like
yeah,
I've boxed things a little bit.
yes,
And it feels a little bit like, okay, I go to that box only for a bit, and then I close it, and I'll move on to this box that is about learning, and then I close it, and then I move on to the future.
yes.
Exciting.
Different boxes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what do you think would be the resources, Veronica, that might be helpful to you?
Mel Robbins.
Ah! Oh,
Motivation,
yeah,
happiness. It's like, hey, her pep talk. So
yeah,
I sometimes struggle to listen for her for too long. I don't
yeah,
know, maybe because there's a lot of talking and I get overwhelmed. But I do like some of I'm talking about her podcast, obviously. Some of those sessions on her podcast are her just talking about her learnings and stuff. And
yeah,
it's often this pep talk. It's this kind of like, and something that is like builds you up and it's like a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher. By the time it's finished, I'm actually, no,
yeah.
actually, life isn't that bad.
Yes, yes,
So,
yeah.
Mel
Well,
Robbins.
yes, Mel Robbins.
And I often do it when I walk my dog, which is like energy and like power
Mm,
walk. So it's like
mm,
endorphins and I think positive stuff in my body. So there's biology involved in that as well.
yeah.
walking. I am playing tennis once a week, and I am going today, so that's gonna
Yeah.
be good. But
Yes.
I really actually started enjoying going on my own, which is really weird. I mean, when I go on my own, I can only practice serving. My point is, when I play tennis and I see improvement, it's very empowering.
Yeah.
And somehow, and I'm like, I saw improvement. I recorded myself on my phone and I
Yeah.
saw my technique improving, and I was like, oh my God, I've done that. You
Yeah.
know, after a long, long time of trying and trying. And it like prompts me up to this positive, this
Yeah.
kind of like builds you up a little bit like that pep talk that Mel Robbins does.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so Mel Robbins podcast,
Yes.
tennis, but tennis I go once a week anyway. But if I could make sure that I do tennis, whether it's on my own or with someone, but apart from outside of the course that I'm doing,
Mm.
outside course. Um, the weather is really nice, that's good,
Yeah.
but I think it would be really good if I still, I know I want to go for this little walk in the morning, and I implemented it a little bit in the evening. It's literally 10 minutes. Sometimes I think it's even less. And I go
Yeah.
around the block. Like, I don't even go to a park. I usually want to be
Yes.
green park. But I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll just listen to birds on trees around me.
Yeah.
And it's great. And I think I process things on those walks.
Right. You process
If
things.
I don't put headphones in and I don't listen to anything,
Yeah.
I process things on those walks.
Yeah. You process. Yeah.
And I think it brings me up to like letting go a little bit. Process, let go, like process,
Okay.
let go.
Yeah.
So maybe I could do something like writing for my website.
Yes.
And even if like I schedule like write for 15 minutes and set
Yeah.
up a timer, or like maybe Pomodoro technique or whatever. Could be
Yeah.
15 minutes Pomodoro, I think it's 25 minutes, and then go for that walk. Like it sounds
Mm.
even ridiculous, but like go
Mm-mm-mm.
and do it. Like take your, my dog will be exhilarated. My dog will be like, we're going for a walk every half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll pick that energy from her too. Go for those
Well,
10 minutes. And maybe because it sounds ridiculous, maybe it's a little bit of fun, like a little bit of a
yes.
game. And
Yes.
test yourself, Veronica. Do this for 15 or 20 minutes, whatever it feels like. Because I think in my head, 25 minutes, like, "Whoa, that's
Yeah.
tough. 25 minutes of drama. Maybe 50, maybe
Mm.
even 10, and then go around the block.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So you are creating a little bit of structure,
Yes.
if I understood well, to help you to get that excitement when you think about your website and your life store. Am I
And all
correct?
those things are kind of, so Mel Robbins' podcast is a little bit like mental shift.
Yeah, yeah,
And then other things are more like exercise, um, moving your body. So that's like biology hoping to
yeah.
support me. I think I eat well and I sleep well, so generally kind of
Mm,
like other things are fine. But specifically about this, like kind of something emotional.
mm,
And I wanted a radical shift. I wanted to be like, how can I make fun of the drama? And you know what it brings to my mind?
yeah.
You know Harry Potter, you know fear, and it's like make your fear ridiculous. And it's like in Harry Potter, there was this spider that was massive, and Ron was so afraid of it. And then they put it on wheels, right? And it started sliding on the like, you know,
Yes,
ridiculous. So it's
yes.
like for me, this is this radical shift. It's like drama. No, make it like fun, ridiculous fun that it's like
Mm,
grounding you and putting it down like, okay,
yeah.
no, I'm like, it's easy. It's like I have bigger issues in my life, you know?
Yes. So I'm kind of following your imagery, which I found it powerful, and about this drama, how to work with this drama and shift. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling curious, very curious.
Mm,
And my head is like, how can I make this drama kind of fun, ridiculous? How can I shift this? Um, because there will be a few things, right? I don't know. It's like, it's definitely this time. Um, I was writing about this transformation and I was like, oh, moving abroad. That was
yeah,
transformation number one. And then it's like what happened afterwards, and I'm like, oh my God, I was in such dark space and it took me so long and so on.
yeah.
So that's one thing. And then it's like PhD drama.
Yeah,
That's transformation number two.
yeah.
Funny, because I've already associated it. Okay, dark times, when I moved abroad, transformation. Okay,
Ah,
dark time,
dark time. Yes,
and there's an arrow, that's transformation,
yeah,
and then an arrow. Okay, okay. So we're in transformation is more like neutral.
yes,
It's positive, but in my head it's neutral.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Transformation, and let's like make shift it further. So it's dark time.
yeah.
Transformation. I'm shifting.
Mm,
Something shifted. And I don't know, like I got my job, got my first job, and I was really excited about the first job. That was good times. So there were dark times, there was transformation, and there were good times.
yes,
Good times, excited.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And then the cycle repeated.
yeah, yes.
The wheel of life or something. This
Kind
should
of
be like
life.
some bloody.
Yeah.
Um, but it makes me think more of like, okay, it's the journey. I've been improving each time, right? So there's been like
Mm,
transformation, yeah, good times, but also improvement as in my skills and
yeah,
who I
yeah,
am, learning about myself a lot,
yeah.
right? So learning about myself. But then I want further. I want more. So I learn about
Mm,
myself, how I can make fun. Make fun of maybe the things that I didn't have back then and I have now. Maybe that would be
okay,
easier, something that I
okay.
know I have it now.
Yes, 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 yes,
Something like I remember when I first came out of the
yeah,
house and I went to catch a bus. And
yeah,
it's the first time and I'm anxious and I don't know like a bus and I don't know if I'm gonna understand what the bus driver is gonna say and so on. And I go much early and I stand on the bus stop. It's just outside the house almost like
yeah,
I'm standing there and the bus comes and it's like a different number. I'm like, no, no, not this one, not this one. Okay, I'm waiting. And then another comes and I'm like, okay, okay, I'm gonna say this and this. And I have some coins. Okay, I don't know how much it's gonna cost. I can handle it, And I'm like, and the bus just passes by,
yeah,
you know? And I'm like, what? And it's just like suddenly, and I'm calling my boyfriend. Gosh, I'm standing here and I was so ready and I'm so ready. And it's like, it didn't stop. And he's like,
yeah,
did you wave? And I'm like, what? Well, did
yeah,
you wave? I'm like, no.
mm,
He's like, what do
yeah,
you need to wave? I'm like, in Poland, I don't have to wave. So that was a funny situation of something that, I was learning and moving and it's like, and it didn't cost me much, really. Like it took
yes,
me some
yes,
nerves in the moment, but really it's
yeah,
kind of like I went home and I waited 40 minutes for another to come.
yeah,
It came out again. It's like,
yeah,
um, I remember when I said that on the way back, I was coming back and I said I want to go to Bryan Hall. And the bus driver didn't understand where I was going. And I was so frustrated. And I was like, well, I usually pay 240. So he just typed in 240 and like pay
yeah,
240. And then I go home and I was like, Ash, I said I'm going to Bryan Hall. The bus driver didn't know where it is. He's like, you mean Bryn Hall?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like this kind of like mm, something about different culture,
Mm,
recognizing that it's very, very, very normal. Like so normal. No one told me. How could I have known?
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It
So
brings me back to
your
that
body
stuff.
language shifted. What are you noticing now?
That it is a little bit funny. That drama.
Yes. Yes.
So it is okay. We're getting there, right? So it's getting a
Yeah.
little bit funny. So learning, it's
Yes.
normal. Um, I'm still thinking about that spider sliding, and I'm just,
Yes.
I wanted ridiculous, funny, just kind of, just like you burst in laugh, right?
Yeah.
Um, I remember another situation. There was a man that came over to wash our windows, and they walked through like the side gate and walk into the garden, and I was like someone is invading my space, and I was like, I'm holding myself in this house and in this garden, like away from people because I'm scared of them.
Yeah.
And they came in, and I'm like, and they put a ladder up, and it's like they're walking up and they're doing something, and I'm sat in the house. I have no idea what's
Yeah.
going on. In Poland, it does not exist. There are no people who clean your windows. Like it's just there's no business there. So
Yes.
I had no idea what this man was doing. So I came out and I was like, I'm sorry, what are you doing?
I understand. So you mentioned about this breach and
A
and
breach.
this different files and the dark time shifting to transformation. And you also mentioned what I have now. Uh,
Mhm.
so what are you feeling at this stage? What are you noticing?
I'm just curious, but I'm
Mm,
like just really trying to figure this out
mm,
and be like, okay, it's getting fun. I'm laughing at this,
yeah,
right? And it's very obvious that I don't do this anymore. I've learned all those things,
yeah,
how they work, right? And I've gone even farther, right? So it's like I've learned much more than that.
yeah,
I've learned a
yeah,
lot, and it's like I'm actually ready to apply for a citizenship. So I've learned like
yeah.
history, culture, language, all of that, right? So I'm just like one step, I feel like it's just one step to make it kind of ridiculous fun.
So how do you think the next step would look like?
I'll go to my boyfriend and I'll ask him, can you figure out that some kind of a sarcastic joke just to make it just like so you know what he says to me, my boyfriend's good at this. He says to me, I missed your stupid face. You know? Like
Ah,
that kind of thing. That's just like sarcastic maybe. Yeah, I can ask my boyfriend about this.
yes. And how do you think you already have something that ideas about your life story and also this moving towards excitement?
Yeah.
Um, and you already have a couple of ideas. How are you going to make yourself accountable?
I'm just thinking about what I'm doing today
Mm,
and what I'm doing tomorrow and how, life gets in the way, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like, so how am I? Um, I usually say I would set up an alarm on my phone,
yeah,
and it often works, but there's so many things that I do this way.
yeah,
I'm like, it's almost, I don't know, boring to put another thing in there and then being
yeah.
like, and then I get overwhelmed. So I think it would be better. Okay, I have an idea. So it's not that a phone is ringing at me and there's another thing that I have to do that feels overwhelming and there's so much going on. But if I can have a visual reminder
Mm,
in my workspace,
Yeah.
right? So not out of the workspace when I take my phone, where I
Yeah.
eat my dinner, or when I have my morning or evening routine. That's like, I've been already working on those. So then I have an
Mm,
alarm set up to be like, okay, snooze down, you're going to bed soon. But I want in my working space, which I have a little office, which is fantastic. So I can just use this space to be like, okay, it's just sticky notes, I think. I have like some
mm.
shiny pink or green. And I just looking at one of those and it says, I'm a stupid game. So one of the limiting beliefs that are still are in my head
Yeah.
that I keep repeating, although almost subconsciously,
Yeah.
is the sense that I'm stupid. And I already write down it's a game. So it's already making it funny. I'm a
Yeah.
stupid game, to shift it from trauma, like what happened in my
Yes.
childhood, to gain. And then I wrote lie and I like underlined it. So if I literally can stick that, like literally on my monitor, like I can stick it on like right next to a keyboard, no, like somewhere even like super visual, that I come
Yes.
here and it catches my eye, right? Catches my attention. And I'm like, oh yeah, fun website journey to my amazing business,
Yeah.
with a sense of like, I'm going to this amazing place, I'm gonna create this amazing life.
Yeah.
And now it's just fun to develop this website. And maybe also a little reminder you cannot always change it. To
Yeah.
not get into perfectionist side of things.
Mm.
To be like, oh, just do it and you'll change it later, right?
Yes.
And reminded that what we talk about, I really don't have to stay in that drama part of things for too long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I have that, literally maybe like make it 4 stickers and be like, okay,
Yes.
this is a reminder for this is for that.
Yes.
In my workspace. So it's like when it's time to work, I sit down, I'm like, ah, yeah,
Yeah. The visual cue, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I think that's enough. Like I don't need it anywhere else. I don't want it anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So we started talking about your website, your life story, and this moving towards excitement. You mentioned about being on it too. Where do you think you are now, Veronica?
I am like nine.
Mm,
Nine, like even 9.5. I'm just like,
mm,
I just feel like there's this one little thing, just half a point,
yeah,
to like make it ridiculous. That's spider sliding,
yes,
like ridiculous burst and laugh.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I even have this meme in mind. There's this meme when it's like a woman is drinking something and she's like spitting it, like
yeah.
when you hear something ridiculous, it's just like, haha, you know? Hmm.
Mm. What do you
Um,
think will be, I'm sorry to interrupt, anything else?
no, 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 it's good.
What do you think is the big takeaway from today?
Good question. What is my big takeaway? It's really the realization how much I'm dwelling on this hurtful stuff or hard stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously, I guess somehow it's painful. It's
yeah,
somehow painful stuff,
yes,
how much I dwell on it. And it's like I forget about the good stuff. So
mm,
it's like if you had a ratio like a bar and it's like 95% all the negative stuff and there's like little gaps for like, oh, I went on holiday, it was amazing, but
yeah,
in my brain it's like this bit. And
yes,
I was like, I was on an amazing holiday, It's
yeah,
like I have this memory of my PhD and it's like the whole journey and it's like there's so many things then it's like there was this thing that I was going through and a whole year I spent on trying to optimize this experiment and it's just never worked and it never worked to this day and it's like this big painful thing and it's like I went on a world congress in South Korea and I spent 2 weeks in South Korea. And in my head, it's like this much. I'm
Yes.
like, Veronica, expand it. It was bloody
Expanded.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Expand this and
Yeah.
shrink that. It's like,
Yes.
forget that. This was amazing.
Yeah.
Someone paid for 2 weeks in Korea for you.
So I'm looking at your energy now, and is this a good place to end?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
No,
I
thank you.
am definitely more excited about the
Yeah.
website. In my head, it definitely shifted from like, okay, forget drama.
Yeah.
Be excited about your business and your coaching. And as I said, it is in me, so I think it's just coming out. Like I know it's in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like there was something like an umbrella that was like,
Yes.
so I'm like pushing that umbrella off and being a little bit like, go for a walk, process it, let go.
Yeah.
Go for a
Yeah.
walk, process, let go.
Yeah.
So if I can have that structure
Mm,
of like, write anything as little as you want, go for a walk.
yes.
Do
Yeah.
some burpees, like bloody.
Yes. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
thank you for today.
No,
Um,
thank you so much.
no, thank you.
That's
Thank
a
you very
great
much.
shift.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank
Thank you. I'll see you next time.
you. Mm.